Hello everyone, I'm Reet. I'm a PhD student in Hyderabad University and today we are talking about how to improve your English language. First of all, I am not that great an expert. What I'll be telling from my own experience. Secondly, I am doing PhD in comparative literature and doing PhD in English or comparative literature doesn't necessarily mean that I am very great, I'm very fluent with the language, okay? But having said that, I think I am certainly at a better position to tell you that what you could help, like what you could take from this video, and let's begin with it. Let's see how you can practice, how you can learn English, and I hope it helps. Let's begin with it. Yeah, so let's begin with it without wasting our time. First thing to know is that it is a journey. Take it as a journey. Take it as a habit to dwell up rather than thinking about the bigger results soon. You have to live that habit, right? You have to practice it daily. Take it as a skill. You need patience, you need practice, you need perseverance, you need consistency, all synonymous words. So you have to have a little bit of patience and you have to practice it daily. Now, how to practice it? First thing is that if you don't have, while learning any language, it is second. If you are learning that language, it means that it is your second language or third or whatever it is. You know that for learning any language, you should start thinking about the language, right? You should start thinking in that language rather than thinking about the language, but rather than thinking your thoughts should be in the your language. So if you don't have your foundations in English, that means it's going to be a bit difficult, but it's not impossible, right? We can achieve everything. So I am not saying something very different. Everybody is going to mention the same things again and again, and actually these things work. Okay, now commitment to the language. How committed you are to the language. I think we all want to learn, but we do not act according to it. Okay, we actually postpone things, and we are not very serious about the language we are learning. Because I remember I wanted to learn German, and I downloaded Duolingo. I managed for around a month, and then I stopped it when things became difficult for me. So we are doing things according to our own convenience. We are not pushing ourselves. So I'm just ranting, but the main point is you should be committed to the language. At least be committed until and unless you see a drastic change in yourself. Okay, but how to practice? Now, I think the best way to practice is making your own video. Like I am making my own video, I am just learning how to speak. To be very honest, I'm just learning how to speak, and that is where I'm making a video. Just make any video and post it. If you don't want to post it, it's fine. But then make a video of your own and listen to it. How you're saying words, what words you're using, how you're saying it, what is the tone, intonation. These things come later on, but what matters is how effectively are you able to speak that language, right? Okay, now coming to the second thing is like I said, practicing in front of the camera or mirror, or if you have anybody with whom you can talk to. And of course you would want to have a person who is non-judgmental. That is actually the that is actually hard to find, right? But yeah, if you do have one, it's the best. Now the third thing, which I think it should be at the first, is reading. I cannot emphasize much how important it is to read. Yeah, the fourth thing, I think fourth or fifth, whatever. The fourth thing is thinking in a language, thinking in English, making any situation, making any scenarios in your mind and talking it or maybe thinking about it in English and then reproducing it in your lips. Okay, so it is very important to think in the language. If you start thinking in the language, you can start speaking in that language. Usually we think in our mother tongue, right? And when you replace that it actually helps. Now, I am personally talking about my experience with the language. To be very honest, I have never been confident of how I speak. Okay. पहले तो when I was in my junior classes and all, I was scared of speaking English, but then when I eventually pushed myself to learn the language, and I'm not saying that I did not use these methods, and I think unconsciously these steps have actually helped me. Though I was not, I wouldn't say I was very properly able to build these habits, but if I had so, I could have been very better at that. I could have been flawless in the language, not flawless, but again, I could have been much, much better in the language, in English. Start thinking in this language. Now, the next point that I have want to mention is immerse yourself in the language. Consume media which has the English language, let's say songs, podcast. See, you will think that it is not having an effect on you, but on your subconscious mind, it actually helps a lot. It's just making it a habit in the longer run. When you see debates, when you see things which are said in a very good way in English, like proper native speakers. Let's say if you listen to the native speakers, British English, American English, that will actually help you. But you can also listen to Sashi Tharoor. Let's say you can listen to uh, anybody TEDx talk. I mean, Sashi Tharoor again. His vocabulary will be a bit tough, a bit not, but so it's something. So it's a lot of thing. But yeah, I mean, just see, consume media in English language. Anything that you're consuming should be in the English language. That will actually help a lot. And remembering that it is a skill. Remember that it is a skill. Don't raise it to a pedestal where you think you are nothing without the language. Okay, so it is a skill. It can be developed like each another skill. Treat it as a skill. Just have this in mind that if you practice, you are going to master that skill, or at least being better at it. You'll be better at it. Believe me, you'll be. Because I have seen myself few years back, and now I see myself. There must be few videos also down in back in my बैचलर्स थर्ड ईयर एंड समथिंग, जहाँ पे मैं कुछ बोलने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ लेकिन मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. आई एम स्विचिंग languages which I do now also, because I know I'm not that great at it, but I'm being eventually better at it, right? I am so sorry for stammering this much, because as I told earlier, I'm not that great in the language. I'm doing PhD in English literature slash comparative literature, but still I am not great at it, believe me. Now what else? Yeah, see, these are the things which will help. But yeah, when your grammar and vocabulary are not that great, it looks a bit off. But these things come later on. You have to focus on grammar, you have to focus on vocabulary, see dictionaries for that, see books for that, grammar books for that, if that helps. Because verbs, tenses, जिनको मतलब बहुत शुरू से सीखना है, उनको verbs and tenses भी सीखने होंगे. लेकिन at first, just speak anything, just speak whatever you want to say, just speak your mind. Okay, yeah, these are the things that are primarily there. But again, being compassionate to yourself, don't be harsh on yourself. We expect results so soon, but understanding that you're doing it, you are doing it, believe me, you're trying much. And again, I'm saying that it's not a very big deal to to no to curse yourself with not knowing a language, or thinking that you are inferior just because you don't know a certain language. But I know it's very important in today's world, especially in India, how important it is to know English. You are judged on the basis of that. But believe me, I've seen people, many of my friends who are in Hindi literature, they are so confident in it, man. They are so confident in whatever they speak. You should also be confident in whatever you speak, be it any language. It should be communicatable, okay? Communicable. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it should be a form of communication. It should come out as a form of communication and not something which on the basis of which you are judged. Just try harder. You're doing things, believe me, you are. See you. That's it. That is it from my side. If you do like this, if you come till here, consider subscribing. Also, again mentioning it that be compassionate to yourself, and language, any language, including English, is a skill that can be learned with practice, with perseverance, and with compassion. See you.